Remember, please get your parents' consent before attempting any activity.
Hey y'all, this is Miss Ross, the Activity Boss. I'm here with BGCSA Live, your virtual Boys and Girls Club. Today we're going to do a science activity, and you've probably already done this where you put baking soda and vinegar together and it creates a big reaction, like if you make a volcano or something. Today we're going to do an activity called lemon volcanoes, and it's a big hit at my Boys and Girls Club. Kids really like it because it's very sensory and hands-on. So today we're going to learn all about acids and bases. And so an important word to know is pH scale. So the pH scale runs from 0 to 14, and it measures how acidic or basic a substance is. So 7 is right in the middle of the scale, and those substances are neutral. They're not acidic or basic. So water is an example of this. Pure water is a 7, and anything below 7 is an acid. So lemon juice is about a 2. So lemon juice is really tart, and if you get it in like a little cut on your finger, it really stings. That's an acid and some properties of acids. And then on the other side is baking soda. So bases are anything above a 7. So baking soda is about an 8 or a 9, and bases often have like a soapy-like texture to them. So something else that is important is that there's little strips of paper that you can use to dip in a substance and measure its pH. So this special paper will turn a color, and then you can look at the chart and it'll tell you what number it is on the pH scale. So that's a really important thing for scientists. So an important thing to know is that when you put an acid and a base together, it's going to react. And the difference between acids and bases has to do with their charges and how they share their positive and negative particles in a reaction. So when you put an acid and a base together, you'll see evidence that a chemical reaction is occurring. And so that might happen through a gas forming. So usually during an acid-base reaction, a gas is formed. And I'll demonstrate that with a balloon so that you can see that CO2 gas is actually produced during the reaction. And when you put an acid and base together and they react, they neutralize each other. So the substance is no longer positive or negative, and water and a salt is formed. So it's a really common and interesting reaction, and we're gonna learn all about it with our lemon volcanoes and with my balloon demonstration. So let's get to it. So before we get to our lemon volcanoes, I'm gonna demonstrate to you how an acid-base reaction forms carbon dioxide gas. So I'm gonna do that by putting some baking soda inside a jar. And then I'm gonna pour in vinegar and then put a balloon on top of the bottle. So you can see that the balloon is standing up and it's filled with gas. And so the formation of the gas is a telltale sign that a chemical reaction has occurred. So we just witnessed an acid-base reaction between vinegar, which is an acid, and baking soda, which is a base, and it formed carbon dioxide gas inside of this balloon. To do the lemon volcano activity, you need a lemon, you need popsicle sticks, or you could use a fork if you don't have a popsicle stick at home, and something to cut the lemons in half with. I'm using a kid-safe saw. And food coloring if you want, dish soap, and baking soda. So you're gonna start by cutting your lemon in half. I'm just cutting off the little ends so that they sit flat. And you'll wanna be careful that the lemon juice doesn't get in your eye. And if you have any cuts on your hand, it might sting a bit. Remember, I said acids can sting if they get in a cut or in your eyes. And then I'm gonna put some food coloring. This step is optional, but it's fun. And some dish soap. The dish soap just helps the reaction to foam up more. It just makes it look a little more exciting. And you can take your popsicle stick and get the juices flowing. You just want to poke at it a few times. That'll make the reaction stronger. All right, So now you're ready to start your reaction. So you can pour some baking soda on the lemons. And then take your stick and start mushing it up. And you'll see that it'll start foaming up. And you can see a lot of bubbles too. So remember how our balloon filled up? The bubbles are a sign that a gas is forming, the carbon dioxide gas. And they'll keep going for a while. You can add on more baking soda. If you have any lemon juice at home too, you can add lemon juice and it'll make the reaction stronger too. So it's just some fun, messy science. And eventually your lemons will stop foaming up. And so this is the sign that your acid and base have neutralized each other. Remember I said that an acid and a base, when you mix them together, it'll form a chemical reaction and eventually they'll neutralize each other and they'll produce water and a salt. So the citric acid inside the lemons is our acid and the baking soda is our base. But if you want the reaction to keep going, you could pour some vinegar on top and it'll foam up again. Because vinegar is also an acid, like the citric acid inside of fruit, like lemons and oranges and limes. Measuring the pH value of a substance is important for a whole bunch of different reasons. For example, scientists might measure the pH value of our drinking water to make sure that it's not too acidic or too basic and that it's safe to drink. They might also measure the pH value of a stream or a river or a lake to see if it's been polluted and to see if it's too acidic or too basic. And there's also a really common example is that pH value is used all the time in gardening. So you might know some of these flowers or recognize them. Gardenias and azaleas are really common in Mobile and they thrive in more acidic soil. So often if I have coffee grounds, I'll go out to my gardenias and I'll put coffee grounds around the base of the plant so that the soil is more acidic. Another example is hydrangeas, and those are popular in Mobile too. They're those big, pretty, kind of like balls of flowers. And the color of the flowers actually changes based on the pH value of the soil that they're in. So the flowers will be blue if the soil is more acidic, and they'll turn pink if the soil is more basic. So you can alter the color of your hydrangeas based on how basic or acidic your soil is. Check out our other virtual club videos on YouTube and Facebook. You can subscribe to our channel and like this video or share it and let us know what you think about it. You can also sign up for our summer camp, Camp Chandler Townsmire, for some fun social distancing. You can sign up on our website at www.bgcsouthaL.org/camp. See you next time.